Bolivia. My name is Lamia and I am currently the MCP OGX of ISEC Bolivia. So, the objective of our video tutorial today is 6 steps how to match our EPs. So, what happens is that we can have a lot of EPs or a lot of interested people, but we don't know how to match them. This is where we have the problem. So I'm going to talk about 6 steps on how we can have matchable EPs and we don't have problems and we don't have EPs that are lying down in the myasec.net that we cannot match, just there. So this is very important. First, you have to set personal goals and expectations with your EP before raising. In the moment of signing the contract, personal goals and expectations. So, before signing the contract, as VP ICX or team leader or coordinator or whatever, you have to sit with the EP and discuss the options. For example, if you cannot offer, the EP wants to go to Europe, he wants to go to Germany, and he cannot speak German or he cannot speak English, then you have to tell them, yeah, you cannot go there because of this. You have to be very honest with your EP before signing the contract and know what his expectation and what you can offer and find an equilibrium between the both. You cannot offer something that you cannot actually promise something that you cannot offer and then raise the EP and give false promises. We don't want this kind of image of ISEC. We don't want to give this kind of image to our clients. So this is a very important meeting to have before actually sign the contract. Not just to sell the product, but also to set clear expectations with your EP so that you won't have promise a product that you cannot offer. Like, this is what we have, this is what you want, okay. If it's the same, then it's cool. If it's not the same, then we cannot continue with this person. Step 2. This is very important, is that you have to have a very good EP form and CV, and especially for GIP. This is especially for GIP. For just EP also, because you have to know that with your EP form and CV, it's your image, or it's the image of your EP in myasec.net. So this is what he sees, what the actually TN manager sees. And it's like competing with the whole world. So it should be something valuable. And we should not play with this, like, yeah, just put whatever information and just put whatever CV. No, that's not working. Especially for GIP. The CV should be very structured and very good. And we're going to have another tutorial about how we can build a good professional CV for our GIP trainees. So I already actually started working on having sending models to the people that wants to apply for GIP internships, models of CVs that they have to respect, because you cannot just put whatever CV here and think that you can work it out. Your CV play a very important role in actually in your chances to get an internship, and this is a global international rule. This is the second step. Third step is do not wait for opportunities. Okay, so you raise your EP, everything is good, you have your CV, all the information, so you should not just wait, someone will contact you. Of course, you have to go to myasec.net and start looking for internships, and this is something that I prefer that you do before you erase your EP. So when you have your EP in the review board and he wants something, search for it directly and see if you can offer it. Like, for example, this EP is in front of you. Hey, I want environmental engineering. Okay, so you are there. You want environmental, okay, you look for environmental engineering. If you find that there are offers or there are TNs, of the time he wants in myasec.net, then do it. Then you can actually discuss it with him right now. If not, then it's better to not raise that EP if he's not very flexible. So this is something that actually I prefer that you do way before in this step. But also you can do it after, and you can use the available form tracker and myasec.net to look for TNs. The fourth step is the application itself. So you found the TN, and you found the perfect TN for your EP. Now, how are you going to apply for this TN? So here I made first step as apply and track the process in a smart way. So I know that you know some ways of applying for internship, like directly send an email to the TN manager and all these things. So we have some steps here. So first you have to apply, as I showed in my video tutorial of how to apply for TN in MATCHear.net, or how to use MATCHear.net to match your EPs. You have to apply for in that page, so that they can receive the information of your EP in Podio. That's a first step. Then you can actually send an email to the TN manager that is in the job description in the page. You can send an email to the TN manager without spamming him, without scaring him out. Just send an email, like a friendly email about, hey, we have this EP, la la la. So what we can do about it, and this kind of nice friendly email. And also you can email his VP ICX or another person to make sure that he receives the email. What happens is that I got some feedbacks from my VPs, from VPs OGX. They said that sometimes they send the email and everything, but they don't receive an answer from the TN manager, from the person. So in this case, what we can do? What we can do is that we can send another email, but without spamming and without scaring the person out. We can send another email, just a reminder. Hey, I sent you this email on this date and I didn't receive an answer, so I just want to know what we can do, la la la. And also, I suggest you to attack other multiple channels, like Facebook, Twitter, Skype, and all this kind of, maybe get the number of the person, maybe WhatsApp him, you know? Like WhatsApp is a very good communicative way to contact people. So you can get his number, WhatsApp him, hey, la la, I am from Bolivia, I do this, I do that, and I have this interested person. Just attack him in all the ways. Like for example, I get example of India. Oh my god, they are very spammers, they're the best spammers on the world. I don't want you guys to be like Indians, but you can do it in a friendly, nicely way without scaring the person out. And you can use all the media channel, actually, the communication channel to access to the person and like remind him. Because sometimes people don't see their emails or don't check their Facebook and you miss the opportunity. So it's better if we actually maximize our chances by going to other communication channels. And here you have to track the process. Why you have to track the process? For example, when you ask the person, okay, so he's like, yeah, we have this offer for him, yeah, we can actually match this person, la la la. But then he just disappeared and doesn't say anything anymore, and you're just like, la la la, waiting for the answer. Well, this is not a good thing. And how can you control it is that you give deadlines. Already here, deadline. This is very important. So if the person answer you and say, hey, I'm going to contact the company or the organization and get back on you. Ask him for a deadline. Okay, so in what time are you going to get back on me? Then he will tell you 1 week, 3 days, but just set a clear deadline about when you're going to contact him back so that you can actually track the process. You cannot wait for him forever, and you have to know when you have to drop this offer and look for something else. So that's why you have to give clear deadlines for looking for matching the TN, for contacting the company and this kind of things. You have always to ask for deadline, even with big companies. If you have an interview with DHL, whatever, when they tell you, hey, you finished the interview, thank you so much. Okay, so do you have questions? Yeah. When are you going to get back on me? That's very important questions because you have to track the process of your applications with timing. So I recommend you very much. So the fifth step is about prepare for the interview. This is very important. And this is more about GIP related because the interviews of GCDP are nice and sweet. They're not that hard. But for the interviews of the GIP, it can be quite complicated. So that's why you have, as part of OGXers, you have to give a training to your EPs about the interview. Because what happens is that we have a lot of skilled people, that they have a lot of potential, but when they come to the interview, they're like, they're just like, I don't know what happens. It gets very stressed and then they have a bad interview. So as part of ISOCers, as part of our organization, that we are people that works many years or like works for quite time in ISIC and we learned a lot of skills. So we have to give a training for those people to how to pass the interview and prepare them for the interview and give them like the direction that they should actually look for. So like for example, you have the EP. you have to prepare him mentally, and you have to give him like what kind of questions they can be asked in the interview. For example, what is the company about, what is his strengths and weaknesses, and this kind of cliche questions that the companies ask. So you have to prepare him a little bit for the interview so that he has more chances to get the internship. Because what happens, and this is really from my own experience, that you have a very skilled EP with a very nice CV and very nice motivation letter, but when it comes to the interview, like, I don't know, the person gets very stressed. So we have to prepare for the interview because it's very important. And sixth step, ooh, this is very important. You have to check visa and work permit while looking for the TNs. For example, we'll take a case for Africa. Yeah, we know that there are not a lot of African embassies here in Bolivia, so we should not really bother to send someone that we don't know. We ignore the process of visa or work permit there in Africa, for example. I can say Morocco because there is no embassies, Algeria, Tunisia, and this kind of countries. That can be quite hard, the visa and the work permit. It's better, as a situation now, to just like look for the safe spot and like, just like don't look for problems and complicated things in terms of visa and work permits. For example, in some countries in Europe where the work permit is very, very complicated. Can be also in India. So we have to get some, the idea is not just examples, because there are countries, for example, that can be very easy. I can say Egypt in Africa, it can be easier between Bolivia and Egypt because they have good relationships. But the idea is you should very, very much, before jumping into a country or jump into an offer, to actually check the visa and work permit informations. Especially work permit is for JIP, visa is for just DP and JIP. You have to know this information so that if the EP asks you about it, you have an idea. And usually they put it in the job description sometimes. So you have to ask about this kind of information so that you won't be in troubles. So I guess this is it. I mean, we have the 6 steps of applying for matching our EPs. So this is like just to help you. You can adapt according to your style of work, but this is to help you how to match your EPs without problem and with a good tracking and everything. So if you have more questions, of course you can email me and you can contact me if you have more questions or if you are interested by more information. Thank you so much, and I hope these steps will help you to match a lot of TNs, like 100 or 200. Thank you so much for your attention. See you. Ciao.